Hello, beautiful people. Soul Searchers Tarot back with another deck walkthrough. Today I wanted to talk about the Mystical Manga Tarot. Now, I bought this deck only because I'm a total nerd, and that I love manga and I also love anime. And so, I wanted this deck in my collection because of that. However, I did find that I absolutely loved this deck for more than just the artwork, although the artwork is amazing. Anyway, so let's start. I got this deck off of Amazon. I can't remember how much it was because I've had it for a little bit of time, but I will definitely link the Amazon link down below in my description box. Now, I've had this deck, like I said, for a little bit of time now, but I haven't really used it too much, which I need to start doing. However, the times that I did use it, I loved it. And one of the things that I absolutely love about this deck is the guidebook. Now, this deck, the guidebook was written by Barbara Moore. And I love her books. I really do. But this specific book is just unique for a few reasons. First of all, it is a full color book. Full color. Here we go. So it has the full length picture in color, and it's just really silky smooth. It has a really nice overview. It gives like the hermit's story, the meaning, advice, and reversed cards. And it's not like your typical reversal where they take the meaning and they flip it, This reversal is more like a question that you are supposed to ask yourself. So whereas the upright position means one thing, the reversal is how are you blocking yourself from doing this or from being this? What is distracting you? Things like that. So like, for example, the hermit, am I distracting myself from challenging thoughts through socializing? Do I depend too much on the opinions of others? And so that would be the reverse meaning, as opposed to saying this is what it means when it's reversed. It's giving you something to think about. So it's a good deck to work with. If you're feeling that you're blocked, I feel like it's too happy of a deck to be used for shadow work, but I mean, to each their own, you know what I mean? So there's a lot that's covered. There's a glossary and like frequently asked questions. They have a section in here. Oh, here we go. This is what it is, where they do practice spreads, which I love because this deck is great for beginners. So it has like practice spreads where it gives you the past, present, and future. And then it'll give you a situation. So for example, this situation right here is Stacy is thinking of taking a month leave from her job to take a solo trip. She's never done anything like this before and wonders if the experience will be a good one. And it gives you cards that were pulled. And it gives you how you could read the cards and interpret the cards, you know what I mean? It talks about like the different colors going from like cool to warm. It talks about how the people in the card are looking at each other and what that could mean. It talks about all of that good stuff, you know what I mean? And it gives you a nice little description on how Barbara would answer Stacy's question. And it has a few of these, like two. I think there's 3 total. Let me see. 2. There's 2. But then it also gives you more examples on like what to do. And then of course it gives you spreads. The Celtic cross, obviously. What guidebook does not have that? You know what I mean? Oops. Hello. Good morning. Focus. There we go. We have the yes or no spread. I love this spread so much. Basically what it is you pull 5 cards and you ask your question. You shuffle the cards. You pull 5 cards, and then you determine how many yes cards and how many no cards there are. So odd numbered minor arcana and court cards are no. So pages, knights, queens, and kings, and negative or odd numbered minor arcana are all no's. And then the major arcana cards and even numbers are all yeses. So if you had 3 yeses and 2 no's, then it would be an overall yes, but this is what needs to happen. And vice versa. No, but this is why, or this is what's happening. So I love this deck. I mean, I love this spread. I've actually used it a few times, and it works like a charm. There's also a generic spread, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You know, it has general overview, experience, outcome, all that good stuff. Situation, challenge, solution, what is hidden. There's a choices spread. There's the one, which is like a love spread. Are they the one? And then I believe it just jumps right in. Yep, jumps right into the minor arcana. I mean the major arcana. Oh goodness, I'm so jumpy, and I didn't have coffee. I don't know what's going on. Anyway, so it's a full color, which is really nice. The pages are amazing. They're not like that they're not like, they don't feel like paper, you know? They're really glossy. Gives the overview of the Fool in the picture, and then the divinatory meaning, advice, and if the cards are reversed. Now, the whole question for reversal thing is only in the major arcana. When you get to the minor arcana, for example, the 3 of Cups, it does switch back to reversed. It means this: feeling left out, too much partying, etc., etc. But it is a great book. One thing that this book has that I have never seen in another book that I absolutely love is this. It has a Fool's Journey section, and basically it takes the Fool and it gives you a little story, like a paragraph that is a story of the Fool's adventure as it makes it through the major arcana. So you have the Fool and how he began his journey, and the Fool when he meets the magician, when he meets the High Priestess and the Empress and the Emperor and the Hierophant. And it's just like a little story. I started reading it as I didn't know what it was, you know, so I started reading it, and then I really just got drawn into it, and I was like, oh, what happens next? Oh, what happens next? And it's really great. It's nice. So that was definitely different, a pleasant surprise, and it really helps you understand. I feel like it gives you a different point of view on how to read the tarot cards, and I think it sets the tone because, like I said, this is a manga tarot deck, and manga is Japanese comic books. So to me, it just means that these cards are meant to be read as like a story. You know, you lay them out side by side and you put them together as if it was a story. Before I get started on the cards, though, I want to just overview on the before I get started on the pictures of the cards, I wanted to go over the cards themselves. So this is the back. It's pretty basic. It's whatever. I don't really care for it. The cards they're okay. You know, you have to be kind of careful when you're shuffling because look, when it bends, it will stay, you know, it won't just like snap back into place. And I think I've just kind of bent this one card too much. Oh, there we go. A little better. It is relatively easy to shuffle though. Let me shuffle these in a way that doesn't flip everything back upside down. There we go. Okay. So here we go. If you are an overhand shuffler, it's great. You just have to be kind of careful when you get to the back of the deck because you do risk bending the cards. Overhand shuffling, wow, I can't do the bridge and I can't talk. What is up with me today, guys? I'm sorry, bear with me. There we go. There we go. All right. So, it's relatively easy to shuffle. I personally like to side shuffle like this, and they're kind of too small to do that. So if you're a side shuffler, you might have a little difficulty doing that. And I'm pretty sure I just flipped half of them. Sorry, guys. That's what happens when you get really into it. Anywho's, so these are the cards. I mean, they're traditional Rider-Waite-Smith. They like follow, not traditional, they follow the Rider-Waite-Smith, which is great if you've been studying tarot, because it's not like this entirely different system. The deck is there's a lot of color. There's a lot of color, which is great because there's a lot going on, and it's really easy for you to be intuitive with this deck. Like, it's a really good overall deck because it has the basic meanings, which is in the book, the guidebook. But there's also enough in the card for you to just pick up different meanings. Like he's on the Chariot and he looks like he's noble, but he also looks like he's bored. At least to me. I mean, you might not see that. This is just my intuition tells me that he looks bored. And I love that Strength is a woman in armor. She looks like she's very successful, you know? So there's Strength. Like, Strength doesn't know gender. But yeah, so I mean, the cards are relatively easy to read. They are fairy tale like, comic book like, which is great. If you lay them side by side, you could probably come up with a nice little story to tell yourself, or if you read for others, you could come up with a nice little story to read for them. And as I said before, the guidebook really helps you figure that out if you're a beginner. Figure out how to read for yourself and for others, and how to use the deck. The cards, the people that are represented in the cards, they're very different. Some of them are very stern, which is not very typical of a manga. Most of the time, the characters are kind of goofy. Like, they have their very stern characters, but they don't really look... I don't know how to, like, explain it. They don't look unapproachable. All manga characters, even if they're, like, a villain, they're approachable. So this deck really makes I'm a king, or a knight, or I'm the devil. Like, look at the devil, right? The devil looks approachable. I really like this card, actually, now that I'm looking at it. There's nudity, a little bit. Actually, I think this is the only card that has nudity in it, which is fitting because it's the devil card. But what I like about this card is that the man is blindfolded, but he can speak, and the woman is not blindfolded, but her eyes are closed, but she can't speak. And so, like, I mean, if they, like, communicated or, like, tried to get away, I feel like they would be able to. But they're just kind of stuck in their own world. And he, like, the devil is just kind of, like, enjoying it, you know? He's not like that mean-looking, raw devil. He's like, ha 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 ha. Almost lustful, like, ha. What you gonna do about it? Nothing, because you're enjoying yourself. That kind of thing, you know? Like, you're enjoying the pain. And you have to break that cycle with the devil card. This is Temperance. And, okay, yeah, so you know how I was telling you in the guidebook, it tells you about, like, the hot to cold or the warm to cool, the color tones? So there's a lot of that. Every card is very, very, very colorful. So it's very easy to be like, they're going from warm to cool. Even in one card, warm to cool. You know what I mean? So there's a lot that you could go off of with this deck and these cards, because the artist who's Ran? The artist's name is Ran. Rann. So the artist gave us a lot to, like, work off of, which is great for a deck, especially one that I didn't expect this deck to be so good. It's just so well-rounded. I thought it was going to be, like, just a deck that I had because, you know, I like Japanese stuff. But it was great. I also really love this Lovers card. It is beautiful. I love that they're blindfolded. There's like, the way that I see it, there's like a double meaning to this card. In Japanese culture, they believe that the gods, their Japanese gods, get together and they spin an individual's fate, and they weave their thread, their fate, you know, and it's usually red. So one way of seeing this could be like they were destined to be together by the gods. But another way, because they're blindfolded, could be like love is blind. You know, you love who you love, and you can decide to love someone that is good for you, or you can decide to love someone that your family thinks is good for you, you know, like, yeah. This is just like a traditional death card. It's your basic death card. The Hierophant with the two people. Again with this red. The Emperor. Page of Wands. King of Cups. Love this card. It just looks so friendly. How could you not love this card, you know? The Queen. Okay, so that's another thing. The women in this card are very one-figured, I guess you could say. Men are super fit, and they have abs and muscles, and they're skinny. And the women are voluptuous and skinny, and you know, it's not very diverse in like body types, but that's just kind of how manga is. They don't really venture outside the box too much when it comes to body figures. So I mean, if you like a card to be more diverse than that and to show more, then this probably isn't a deck for you, but it is still a good deck. Even with that one-sidedness. And I find it doesn't really affect how you read. Like at all. I really like this card too. This is one of my favorite cards. Mostly just because like the Four of Pentacles is usually like trying to hold on to your money, feeling like you don't have enough, and so you're trying to hold on to your money and you don't want to spend and you don't want to share. And I don't get that vibe from this picture. Like, he doesn't look like he's trying to hold on to it, and he most definitely does not look like he's I don't know, he doesn't look like he's having a hard time with money. To me, and this could just be my personal view, but to me he looks like he's teasing you, like, I have money. I worked hard for it. I have my money. Like, what have you been doing? You don't have money? What have you been doing with your life? Why don't you get yourself back on track? Like, that's what I get from him and his face and the way that he's looking at us. And then we have here the Six of Swords, which is traditionally, obviously, the giver's card. Like, spreading love, you know? Ooh, the Knight of Swords. Look at him. He looks all suave. Like he's Mr. Heartbreaker. At the Eight of Pentacles. Very studious, which is exactly what he looks like. Heartbreak. Three of Cups. Swords. Hello. Three of Swords. Knight of Coins. The Tower. Ace of Coins. But yeah, this deck overall is really just it's a good one. It is. And it has a lot of facial expressions, a lot of eye contact, a lot of body language. You know, it's really easy to be able to lay these cards out next to each other and read a story, which is just fantastic. I also like that in this card, he's not blindfolded, but his eyes are closed, but he's still moving. down here, and he's smiling. So it's not like he's imprisoned by this lack of choice. It's not holding him back, but he knows that he has to make a decision, and maybe his eyes are closed willingly so that he won't be distracted or influenced by what is around him, but so that he'll really be able to pay attention to his intuition and what his heart is saying. You know what I mean? And so it's really easy to pick up on these intuitive, what am I trying to say? It's really easy to pick up on like your intuition and how it relates to the card. There we go. The World. This is a beautiful card. There's a lot going on, but it is a beautiful card. Oh, what a great way to end this. 4 of Wands. Love it. But yeah, so that's the deck. It's a great deck. Hello. It's a very great deck. And I mean, if you're interested, like I said, I'm going to link it into my description for you to purchase it on Amazon. But yeah, great deck, even greater guidebook, amazing. And yeah, that's all I have for you guys today. Let me know what you think about the deck, about the video. I know that I'm still fairly new at this, this recording and stuff. So let me know if you have any suggestions for me, or if you found anything distracting, if you have any comments or praises, just let me know, you guys. I'd love to hear from you. And as always, like and subscribe to see more deck reviews. And I'm gonna get a collective reading. I haven't worked up the courage to do it, but I know I'm gonna do it. So let me know. Subscribe, like, stick around, follow me on Instagram. I'll have all of that information in my description box, okay? Much love. I'm sending my love and happiness to you guys. Have a nice day, rest of the day, and hopefully I'll see you guys on my next video, okay? Bye.